How are we? Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Hope we're all good. This is the last live of the week. Sometimes I try and do an impromptu kind of one on a. I did schedule it in, but it's just time runs away with me, especially on a Friday when it's check-in day and I'm mega busy. But this is the last one because we are out. Well, not out this evening, but we're going to go to the gym about 4:00. So hopefully get all my bits and pieces done. We're going to go to the gym about 4:00, so it'll be about 6-ish before I get back. Then I'll be straight to tea. Then I'll be dog walking when hopefully the weather's gone a little bit cooler. And then it'll probably be going to bed if I'm being honest with you. Because I'm not knackered, but... Oh, excuse me, windy pops. I am ready for the weekend. Already been to the gym this morning. Already smashed the old exercise in teaching spin. I'm covering spin this morning and two Fridays. So I teach a regular spin class 5:15 on a Tuesday, 9:15 on a Saturday morning. But yeah, just covering for another instructor that's had to have a little operation. So yes, an extra spin class. So 2 gym sessions for me because Rachel couldn't get there this morning because she had some meetings in at work. So yeah, a busy day with the old exercise for me. And I don't mind because steps are going to be, well, naturally a little bit lower, mainly because of the weather. It's just a bit warm, isn't it, to walk should have probably got the dogs out first thing this morning, but we'll just take the dogs. They're only going to get one walk today, and it'll probably be about 7:30 tonight when it definitely goes. When it's, going to go a little bit cooler, hopefully. Well, certainly when the sun's starting to dip down a little bit. Anyway, so we'll get back to the gym, do 15 minutes cross trainer, 30 minutes of weights, and then I've got spin tomorrow, and that is my exercise done. I think for the week because I've worked out this week. I've done all right. Anyway, so we do a top 5 this morning. Let's see who's in. I'm going to be on this morning, guys, till about 11:45. It is manic checking. It's not manic checking day today, actually, but it is still checking day. It is busy. I've also had quite a lot of people sign up to plan this week. If you have signed up and come on my one-to-one plan, thank you very much. Took advantage of the little offer I've got on at the moment. I don't like people waiting too much to go on plan. So I was technically full, but anyone that has signed up, I'm going to try and get you started on Monday. I've got everyone's consultation forms in. So, it's I've got some plans to write this afternoon. It might be the weekend before I get your plan out to you, but just in case you're on the live now when you're having a little look, if you do want to come on to plan and you sign up today, you'll start today. I will not be writing any more plans up this week. Then I think we're going to have 9 starting on Monday. Checking is Tina's just popped up on Facebook. Tina is one of the clients that is starting on Monday. Tina got her plan yesterday. So if you want to get on my plan, we've got some great summer deals on at the moment. 50% off sign up to the one-to-one monthly plan. So you can literally get on board for 15 quid. There is a monthly subscription of $29.99, but that will not start until the end of July. So you can literally get on board. We'll start your week tomorrow. A week on Monday, the 21st of July, 15 quid sign up. And then the monthly sub will start at the end of the month, just in time for payday. The big saving that I've gone up at the moment is my yearly one-to-one plan. Over 12 months, if you do it over 12 months, my one-to-one plan costs 390 quid, which is still cheap for a year's worth of weight loss coaching. But if you sign up and commit to a year, you get it for 325. At the moment, I've got 20% off that. So you can get it for 260 quid. You can literally, one payment, £260, and you'll be covered until the end of July 2026. You'll get 12 and a half months of weight loss coaching for a one-off payment of 260 quid. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. I'll try and put the links shortly, actually, I can put it on the screen. You can't, if you're watching this back in the future, you can't, it's not a clickable link, as it were. But you can see my Linktree link, and you can find it on my Facebook page, on my YouTube page. You can find it in my TikTok profile. Click on that. There's a little shop, and you can click on all the information's in there. Or send over an inquiry form, and I'll send you all the bits and pieces. Tim said I did. Going to have a read of fully later. Took the dog out at 7 a.m, so on 9,000 steps. Amazing. To be honest with you, I come out into the office at 6:30 this morning, and the weather was lovely. It was warm, actually, at 6:30 this morning. I was like, this is when we should be taking the dogs out, but we haven't done. They'll be fertling around the garden and doing bits and pieces. And we'll just take them out for we normally do like 2 20, 25-minute walks a day. We'll probably get to like 7:30. Hey, Blas, what are you doing? Come here. Come say hello. You've not been on a live for a bit. What are you doing? Do you want to come say hello? You've been digging. Oi. What's on your head? You've got soil on your head. Come and say hello. You've not come and... Oh, picked up by your bum then, Neil. Come and say hello. You've not been on a live for a bit, have you? It's too hot. I'm just telling everyone it's too hot to take you for a walk. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's too hot to take you for a walk. Oh, you're warm. You've been sunbathing. But we'll get you out at 7:30-ish. I don't know why. Does anyone else talk to the dogs like they're going on? Go on. I know you want to play in the garden. We'll take them out 7:30-ish and we'll probably do like a 30-40-minute walk then, just a bit longer. Anyway, there we go. Right, let's do top 5 on TikTok. I'm waffling. Callum's in at number 1. Amy's in at number 2. Michelle's in at number 3. Dodds is in at number 4. And Lise is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight to live. As always, I really appreciate it. You jumping on, coming and saying hello. A few of you that have come straight to the live have checked in already this morning. I've done your check-ins. Well, I think a good few of you have checked in. Some I've done, some I haven't. I will be getting stuck back into them shortly. Losing, good morning. Pete's in, good morning. Mama Bear, good morning. Katie, Nikki, Michael, morning, guys. Donna, good morning. Paula, hiya, good morning. Having a more chilled day today after a super busy week. I do like my Fridays. I do. I tell you why I like Fridays. Fridays are my busiest day of the week for work because I do check-ins. So it's like literally, during the week I do a lot of work, but if I want a bit of a go slow week, I can't. Friday's just getting stuck in. But once I've done, and I feel like I put the effort in on a Friday, I'm then more than happy to chill out for the rest of the weekend. Milo is still on house arrest, bless him. To be honest with you, he'd be on house arrest anyway in this weather. So, Carol, good morning. Amy, good morning. Jackie's in, good morning. I sent mine just before the live, didn't get to bed till 4. I'm so checked in. Callum, that's absolutely fine, you dirty stop out. 4 a.m, hellfire. Kate, good morning. Have I said hello to Kate? I might have done. Yes, hey, boss. Yeah, no, she's not been on live. I was thinking the other day, she normally jumps on live. She's been in the office with me. But yeah, she's not been on a live for a little bit. Bless her. Getting my hydration in. I've got a confession. Been on the scales this morning. It's not my check-in day. My check-in day is next Friday. But I was laid in bed last night and I was having a thin moment. We have fat and thin moments. We have times where, God, I feel fat. We have times where, I'm feeling quite fit today. And obviously, I've had a bit of a pre-holiday or post-holiday bump, as it were, last week. I was 8.1 pounds up, and that was 4 days after getting back on it after my holiday. So I reckon if I'd weighed straight away, my post-holiday gain would probably have been 12 or 13 pounds. Dropped 5 pounds. Anyway, I've dropped another 5. So yeah, I had a bit of a thin moment in bed. I thought, do you know what? Let's get on the scales and have a little look. I wasn't meant to. I'm not perfect. I was meant to get on the scales next week, but I just thought, do you know what? Let's get on the scales and have a little look. And I did. And I've dropped another 5 already this week. So I knew I was a bit bloated last week. So I'm currently 3 pounds up. Now, I've not logged that weight. That weight doesn't get logged. The weights that I log are check-in weights. And I could be 3 pounds lighter this week. It is what it is. But I kind of feel like, yeah, it's, sometimes, I do have a healthy relationship with the scales. If I'd not lost anything this week, it wouldn't have really bothered me. It wouldn't. It doesn't mean I don't have my own issues with the scales still every now and then. But on a whole, it doesn't, I'm fully understanding that. But yeah, just to see that, I'm like, yeah. So, and I will have lost a couple of pounds of body fat since I last weighed because of the deficit I put myself in. So probably lost out of that 5 pound loss. And I reckon, so I'm 3 pounds up. I've got fat to lose now. I think my post-holiday bloat is gone, right? Any weight that I'm up on the scales now, which is just 3 pounds, is still body fat gain. So I reckon from holiday, I gained about 5 or 6 pounds, which is a 17.5 to 20,000 calorie surplus over 9 days. So this is the calories that I ate on holiday on average. Ate and drank, all right? So that does include alcohol calories. So I had 9 days what I call off plan. Let's go top end 20,000 calories. Divide that by 9. So that's 2,200 a day. I burn 3,500 a day. That includes my metabolism, my everyday movement, and my exercise. Now, I didn't do any exercise for 9 days, but my step count normally averages about 11,000 steps a day. And when I was on holiday, it averaged 15,000 steps a day. So the extra 4,000 steps a day will have more than counterbalanced what my exercise, the exercise I didn't do. So I ate on average on holiday for 9 days, 5,100 calories a day. It's a lot of calories. But when you're eating, when I look back, I had, I had one day I put it on my social media where we went to this place called the Brunch Box in Benidorm, and I had the American pancakes with sausage, bacon, and egg and maple syrup, and a milkshake and an orange juice. That was 2,000 calories. That was at like brunch. That was 11 a.m. 2,000 calories. On that same day. Now, I didn't eat anything in terms of a main meal we had that. And we did that quite a bit, actually. We just ate sort of 2 main meals a day. Did I smash some Lays in? Yeah. Did I have a few beers? Yeah. So, it's a pint's 200 calories. So if I had 4 or 5 pints by the pool in the afternoon, or, a couple of Copperbergs and a couple of pints, something like that, that's another 1,000 calories. A few Lays, about 3,500 calories before I've even gone out for my tea. The same day we had that brunch, we went out and I had steak pie, chips, veg, which I calculate as being not too bad, actually, probably about 1,100 calories, and a few more beers and a nice. So, yeah, the calories can rack up. Am I bothered? In the words of Captain, no, I'm here. It's a great holiday. I'll be gone by next week. By next week, I will be the same way I was pre-holiday. 2 weeks after coming back. Sorted. More than happy with that. All good. Any pina coladas? Michael P, 1981. Yes. 2 or 3. Only at what, I'll tell you, we have pina coladas. Anyone knows Benidorm? Right? Anyone ever been? And it is one of the best pina coladas I have ever had. It was sensational. If you know the old town of Benidorm, there is a street and it's called Gin Alley. Right? And basically, it's a lot of very nice bars. You've got trees down the middle of it, lots of very nice bars, really good area, some nice restaurants there, some really nice little bars. And right at the end of Gin Alley, before you get to the start of Tapas Alley, where the little square is, where Bar 69 is and Oliver's, the very first bar if you come out of Tapas Alley and turn left onto Gin Alley, right? The very first bar on the left, we walked down there, it would be probably about 6 o'clock at night, and they had a happy hour on like your regular cocktails, like your Sex on the Beach and pina coladas. €5 a cocktail. And I think the happy hour was 5 till 7. Sometimes when you have happy hours, maybe you can skimp up. It was top tier. So yes, there were. I think we had 2. I think I had 2 sat there. I think I got a pint, and then my mate Andrew got a pina colada. And he was like, try that. And I was like, wow, that is one of the best pina coladas I've had. So I had 2 pina coladas there. So yeah, definitely. Cals in those are mental. Yeah, they are. They are, because you're using, obviously you've got your pineapple juice, you've got your coconut milk if they're made properly. Yeah, you're probably talking 300 calories for a pina colada. They're not massive, But wow, if you go to Benidorm, get to that little bar. And it was only a little independent bar. It was a little family that run it, husband and wife. Grandma was there with their kid, obviously, looking after the kids while they worked. I love supporting places like that. And it was Spanish, little independent Spanish bar. And I said to Rach, when we go back in a few weeks, we're definitely going. I definitely want a pina colada at that bar. Absolutely. And to be fair, they were €5 each. Full price, I think they were €11 each. So the old town of Benidorm isn't the cheapest. And I literally said to Rach, I would have paid €11. Anyway, I tipped pretty decent as well, because they were absolutely superb. Anyway, there you go. Morning, everyone, on this lovely sunny Friday. The weather is amazing. I'm going to try and get in the garden for an hour this afternoon, tidy it up, bit of de-weeding. I have a low maintenance garden. It's flagged, it's AstroTurf. That's about it, really. I don't do gardening, but obviously out some of the flags, a bit around the edges of the AstroTurf, a few through the middle of the AstroTurf, to be fair. Got quite a lot of weeds that have sprouted up. So it needs a bit of a blitz. So I'm going to de-weed it all and then jet wash it all down for the weekend because the weather's going to be amazing tomorrow, Sunday and Monday. So ready to spend a bit of time in the garden. Got the dogs a little paddling pool, so I'll fill that up for them. And yeah, I love it when the weather's like this. I do. It's a bit of a balance for me. One thing, I always find this sort of weather, I do find it a lot harder to lose weight because, it doesn't mean I can't lose weight. I mean, it takes a bit more effort. Why? Because temptation. It's Friday. I would absolutely beer garden. Off I pop. Thanks very much. Now I'm teaching spin tomorrow, so that's keeping me in control. The devil is going to be about tomorrow and Sunday. We've got to fight it. We will. We're doing all right. I don't mean you can't go to a beer garden and have a few beers. You can, but I had a boozy 9 days just 2 weeks ago. So I've kind of, I'm just trying to rein it in a little bit. And I'm out next Saturday, so you've got to do a bit of compromise. I don't want to go out all the time. So, I'm trying to rein it in a little bit. I need to mow the lawn later. Paving is being done next week. Finally, a bit of garden. Yeah, I honestly don't do garden at all. And I've got even though we keep everything very low maintenance, like our house looks a bit, well, Rachel keeps busting my chops for it at the moment. There's weeds everywhere, out the back, out the front. We've got like quite big privet hedges at the front. They all need sort of like trimming back a little bit. So I'm a bit like, so that could be some jobs over the weekend. But when the sun shines, I don't mind it. Do the old Diet Coke break, take my top off, top my tan up. I apologise to the neighbours for what you're going to see. And yeah, get stuck into a bit of garden maintenance. Anyway, there we go. Right, let me scale up. James, good morning, mate. I've seen your check-in. It will be done shortly. Just got back. So yeah, I was in the office this morning. Done a good couple of hours worth of check-in. Sort of broke the back of them really. Been to Ribby, done spin, come back. Just had a couple of poisonous protein crumpets with 2 eggs on. And a little bit of Jason's sourdough fruit loaf with a bit of butter on. Getting some carbs in to re-energize because I've got to go back to the gym later. 472 calories. Lunch today, we're having protein pancakes. I've not had protein pancakes for ages, so I'm having a bit of a sweet lunch today. Rachel fancies it. So got a couple of protein pancakes, Greek yogurt with protein powder. Got some fresh fruit, blueberries, strawberries. To go on top. I'm going to treat myself to a drizzle of peanut butter, some chia seeds. Ooh, can't wait. So, and I thought that'll work out quite nice with the weather being lovely. Tea tonight, we are having crispy chicken Caesar wraps. Basically, I've got a Caesar salad kit from Aldi that needs eating. And I've also, just for pictures, for content, I bought some chicken tenders from Aldi. So I couldn't find the protein wraps in Aldi. So I've got the best of both 50-50 wraps. So a bit of protein, bit of extra. There is a little bit of extra protein in there, a little bit of fiber, extra fiber in them because they've got a little bit of wholemeal in there. I'm going to have chicken, lettuce, Caesar sauce, and Parmesan in the wrap. I'm not going to put the croutons in. I'll probably just scoff them while I'm making tea. So yeah, just romaine lettuce, might put a bit of red onion in there, Caesar dressing, Parmesan cheese, and a couple of crispy chicken fillets and make a wrap. And then we'll do some air fried chips. So that is tea. So my breakfast, my lunch, and my tea is 1,780 calories. Already tracked, already in the app. And then it's just anything else I decide to eat. My limit today for calories is 2,200. And that will bank me, I think, about 2,500 going into the weekend. We don't officially have anything on this weekend. Rachel, again, has been busting my chops for Chinese for ages. I do a lot of homemade Chinese dishes. And I've I used to love a Chinese. I had one every weekend pretty much throughout my weight loss journey, just a main course of rice. And it used to be one of my top 3 takeaways. I've kind of fallen out of love with it a little bit, of Chinese takeaway. And I'll tell you why. Number one, I make a lot of my own Chinese dishes, which I love. They taste amazing. They really, really do. So I quite like making it myself. So we have a lot of Chinese dishes, but more homemade stuff. And I know it's not as authentic as going for a Chinese or whatever, but It's a lot more calorie controlled. And what I find with the Chinese takeaways, I'm very common can overeat because we do like when we get a Chinese, like everyone, we like to get a few bits and pieces. And Rachel likes a few, like she's not, she like we get what I call a British Chinese: salt and pepper chicken, curry sauce, rice, noodles. That's it, right? But then we'll also get some spring rolls and I like a bit of prawn toast. And then because you spend over 30 quid with the Chinese we go to, you get some free salt and pepper chicken wings and you get your prawn crackers and you get this and that. And yeah, and I just find it very hard to control myself sometimes when the food's there in front of me. What we have started doing actually is last time we had it, because normally we lay it all out in the living room and then we just dip in and help ourselves. What we did last time was we just sort of laid it all out in the kitchen, topped our plates up and then went in. And to be honest with you, I couldn't be asked going back and getting another plate. So that was better. But anyway, we are having a Chinese tomorrow. I think the plan is to go and watch Superman. So to get out of the sun a little bit, go and watch Superman at 4, I think it's on at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock at the cinema we normally go to. Finishes, kicks out at about 5:30. Pick a Chinese up on the way home, come home and have a Chinese. So why I'm saying this is these are the calories I need for tomorrow. I've got nothing else on, so I'll probably have a normal breakfast tomorrow, like my yogurt bowl. Probably have a lighter lunch, and then I want to have snacks in the cinema, so a little bit of popcorn, a little bit of chalk, and a drink, and then get a Chinese on the way home. But once I've had the Chinese, I won't have anything else after it. And then Sunday, I don't know what we're doing Sunday, really. We've got absolutely no plans. We might just go off the cuff on Sunday. Normally, I like to plan my weekends and I know exactly where I'm at, but we might go a little bit off the cuff. I shouldn't really have any more than 3,000 calories tomorrow. So Sunday, I'd have over 5,000 calories if I wanted to. I won't be. I'm going to try and keep it as reined in. Kelly, good morning. Let me scan up. What do you do? I'm on the high protein diet, but my weight's not moved for 6 days. Right. First of all, Philippa, what do I do? Yeah, I do a high protein diet, but I don't do the high protein diet. I basically, I eat carbs, I eat protein, I eat fat, but I count my calories to my goal to the best of my ability. I prioritize protein and fiber in my diet because they help fill us up, and that's it. Now, you're 6 days in. I have literally done a podcast. It will be out next week, and it is basically the title of the podcast. I know I've done a similar one to this. I think I've done a podcast ages ago called Patience is a Virtue. But obviously, topics are going to get repeated a little bit, and sometimes I have different slants on it. I don't plan my podcast. They're not scripted. It's just me talking from me. So there might be some repetition somewhere, but they're probably a bit of a different slant. But the podcast I recorded the other day is entitled, You Didn't Gain Weight Overnight, so Stop Trying to Lose It Overnight. Lots of sayings. Rome wasn't built in a day. Blah, 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 blah. So, the fact the scales haven't moved for 6 days, like, what we need to appreciate is we get fluctuations on the scales, but if the scales just showed fat loss, right? Even if we're in a stupidly restrictive calorie deficit of 7 to 10,000 calories a week, over 6 days, the scales would only move a pound or so. Now you sat there going, the scales haven't moved at all. Yeah, but how much are you wanting them to move in 6 days? And like I say, because of daily fluctuations, you could be in a stupidly strict calorie deficit. Protein doesn't cause fat loss. If people are like, I'm eating loads of protein, so I should just automatically be losing loads of fat. No, what causes fat loss is consuming less calories than you burn. What protein does is it fills us up, right? Or it helps to fill us up. It helps to control appetite. And obviously, if you can control your appetite, it makes it a lot easier to control your calories. Yeah. But Philippa, it's just too early. You can't, I know we are impatient, but I've lost 10 pounds, but it stopped moving. It hasn't stopped moving, Philippa. It's 6 days. You can't say anything stopped moving in 6 days, right? Your first couple of weeks, you might have lost 10 pounds, right? But, I don't know how long you've been at this to lose your 10 pounds. But if you're like, I lost 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks and now the scales haven't moved for 6 days, well, if you've lost 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks or whatever, you've lost water weight, you've lost food weight, you've not lost 10 pounds of body fat. I did in 2 weeks. There you go. So your 10-pound loss isn't fat loss, right? There'll be a little bit of fat loss. What calorie deficit are you in, Philippa? Tell me your calorie deficit. How many calories do you burn? How many calories are you eating? You should know those two numbers. Irrelevant of what method you're using, even if you're trying to do Slimming World, keto, intermittent fasting, just eating protein or whatever, or carnivore diet, you should still know those two numbers. Why? Because the only way we lose weight is by eating less calories than we burn. Cutting out carbs does not cause fat loss. Cutting out carbohydrates reduces calorie intake. Fasting does not cause fat loss. Fasting reduces our calorie intake. Sinning food, right? Sinning food does not cause fat loss. Sinning food reduces calorie intake. Having shake diets, right? Drinking a shake in the morning, shake in the afternoon, shake in the evening, whatever, does not cause fat loss. Having very low calorie shakes just reduces your calories. I haven't been counting. Start counting your calories then. Why? Because counting calories answers a lot of questions. How do you know you're in a calorie deficit, Philippa? How do you? Right? And this is it. A lot of people think, no, calories don't matter. As long as I just eat it. No, calories matter 100%. Calories are the main thing, right? And even if you're deciding to do the keto diet or the carnivore diet or whatever diet you're trying to do, you should know how many calories you burn and how many calories you are consuming, right? Because then that answers the question. If you burn 3,000 calories in a day and you're eating 3,000 calories a day, you ain't losing body fat. Irrelevant how you eat, whether you're sinning your food, whether you're not eating carbs, whether you're fasting 16 hours a day, you ain't losing body fat, right? So understand those numbers, because people could go on to a keto diet for 2 weeks, not be in a calorie deficit, but drop 10 pounds because you've massively reduced. I've been eating meat. Eating how much meat? How many calories? Again, eating meat doesn't cause fat loss. Yeah. So you need to understand calorie intakes. You really, really do. I think it's the most. And like I say, whether you decide to track your calories religiously, try and be as accountable as you can. As long as you've got a rough understanding of what your daily calories should be, then you can kind of make a little bit of a judgment. Even if you don't want to track calories, you go, oh God, I've had a ribeye steak. It's 900 calories. I've had 4 eggs. That's 250 calories. I've cooked that in a lot of butter. That's 1,400 calories. Right? I burn 2,000 calories a day. My steak and eggs is 1,400 calories. And then me chicken, bacon and cheese that I have at night time. I'm not in a calorie deficit. Now, don't get me wrong. Most people that do, what a lot of people that do the carnivore diet don't tell you is they fast. They eat once a day. Right? There's lots of people that do the carnivore diet. And the reason that a lot of people lose fat on the carnivore diet is they're fasting, right? Carnivore diet is actually quite calorific. You're cooking in butter, now, when you eat just pure protein, so you just eat meat and eggs and cheese, it's not that palatable, right? Sounds amazing. I love a steak, right? I love a steak when it's with some chips and pepper sauce, right? I love eggs. I love eggs when they're on toast or crumpets like I've had this morning, right? Has anyone ever eaten? If you give me 2 slices of toast and put 4 eggs on there, I'll demolish it. Has anyone eaten 4 fried eggs just as they are, right? It ain't that pleasant an experience, trust me, right? Has anyone ever had just steak and eggs, right? Just steak and eggs, just a steak on a plate and 4 eggs, right? I love steak. I love eggs. But steak and eggs on its own, it just isn't that great. It really, really isn't. It doesn't, it just isn't. It just doesn't taste that great. And, when we're doing a diet that isn't highly palatable, as it were, right? The overall diet isn't highly palatable. Again, that does help us control calories a little bit because we don't fancy it, and that's what these carnivore pushers don't. They don't tell you, they literally eat once a day because they probably can't face eating steak and eggs and a load of butter more than once a day, right? I've done it a couple of times, not to do the ketogenic diet. I've, a couple of times if I feel bloated, and I know this isn't like the right thing, but carbs hold water in the body, and sometimes if I'm feeling overly bloated, I'll just watch my carb intake for the day, and I can go a little bit very low carb. And sometimes I will have a dinner that is something like steak and eggs, just no carbs, and that'll allow me to flush some excess water out of my body. It's just not that pleasant. It really, really isn't. Now, you take steak and eggs and then put 250 grams of air fried chips, homemade air fried chips, super healthy, loads of vitamins, loads of minerals. That steak and eggs then goes to another level. And I'll eat that all day long. Yeah. Said this yesterday. Like, I love butter. I love cheese. I love steak, like I've just said. I love eggs, right? But those things are only delicious when they are matched with a carb, right? If I went in my kitchen now and took 10 grams of butter and just ate it, right, it wouldn't be that nice an experience. If I take that 10 grams of butter and put it on a nice piece of toasted bread, it will taste sensational. Cheese, I love cheese. I absolutely love it. But I don't sit there like a great big mouse chewing on blocks of cheese out of the fridge. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I don't mind, you get your little 20-gram snack packs of cheese or a Baby Bell. I don't mind eating one. But does that light up my life as much as taking a cream cracker and putting cheese on it? Takes it to another level, doesn't it? So it's another reason why, we can control calories doing the carnivore diet, because nothing tastes that good. Fats and protein do not taste good without carbohydrates. Yeah. Well, maybe you should. Cheese is life. Cheese is life when it's on a sandwich, when it's on crackers, right? When it's on toast, right? When it's on a pizza. That's when cheese is life. Anna's on Facebook. My mother was on Slimming World. She came to you, Neil, after I showed her some of your videos, and she's absolutely loving her calorie deficit. She's quit Slimming World, told them to do one. She now feels less restrictive, and she has become happy. Great. Thank you, Neil. That's not a problem at all, mate. Thanks for my calories, too. I was eating too little at the start, lost weight, but now your calorie calculation has made it more sustainable for me. And that's what it's all about. You could eat 1,000 calories a day. You're going to lose weight, but you're going to be miserable. You're going to be tired. You're probably not going to stick to it that long. So a healthy, sustainable calorie allowance, it's all about having that balance. It's about eating an amount of calories that stops you feeling overly restricted, keeps your energy levels high, allows you to enjoy some of the foods we love, some highly palatable, calorie-dense foods like a pizza, like a Mackey's. I'm not saying you should eat that all the time, but you should be allowed to build some of that into your overall diet, and you can still be very, very healthy eating those things. But we still need to see some decent results on the scales. So it is all about balance, and that is the calories I give you, right? You will see, look, you're not going to see crash diet results. You're not going to see 3-4 pounds every single week if you work with me, right? I set calories for most people about £1 a week on average. If your movement is compromised, if you're not very heavy, right, it could be £0.5 a week on average, right? And there's a reason why I do that. Likewise, if you are quite heavy or your movement is very, very good, we can possibly push your calorie allowance a little bit, right? I might keep it quite pessimistic. So if you're really on it, you could probably lose a little bit more. Yeah. I'm 16 stone. How much calories should I be on? If anyone wants their calories calculated, come join my community. TikTok profile, click on my link tree, Facebook page, YouTube page. Just click on my link tree. It literally says linktr.ee/real loss boss. Click on that. Click on the community. Use code WELCOME. It's £5 for your first month using code WELCOME. If you can afford to just eat steak and eggs, you can afford a £5 for me to work out your calories, and you get a full calorie breakdown from me. All right? It's not just me pinging a random number. You're right, you want to eat 1,500 calories a day. No, you'll see exactly where I've got your calories. All your information's in there. Your maintenance calories, your metabolism's in there. We then calculate your movement as well. You'll see your maintenance calories. That's the amount of calories. This is the data I was talking about before. You should know the amount of calories you burn on average in a week. I'll tell you that information. You should then base your calories that you're going to eat for weight loss off that amount. And I'll give you that information as well. And Philippa, if you eat the calories I give you, right, consistently, you put the effort in, this time next year, you won't be 16 stone, you'll be 12. Right? Now you might be like, 4 stone in a year. I was hoping to lose 4 stone in 4 months. Look, you'll be up, if you lose 4 stone over a year, you'll be buzzing. If I said to you this time next year, you'll be 12 stone, you'd snap my hand off, right? Doesn't matter how fast you lose. In fact, the more sustainable the weight loss, the bigger the chance you're keeping it off, right? You can crash diet, lose 4 stone in 4 months, right? I'll tell you how. You want to lose a stone a month, you need to be a stone of body fat a month. You need to be in a 49,000 calorie deficit. All right, that's it. Right, so the average adult burns 2,000 calories a day, according to the FSA and nutritional labels. So 2,000 calories over 30 days, for example. I know some months are 31, the odd month is 28. Let's just go for 30, right? Is 60,000 calories, right? So you want to lose a stone of that's for the average adult. Now that doesn't include movement, all right? So the average calories for an adult on a nutritional label is 2,000 calories a day. That is based off metabolism and basic movement that the NHS count, which is 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. Basically, the NHS say everyone, irrelevant of weight, right, or mobility, will roughly do 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day, steps a day. That's just common practice, mooching around your house, going shot or whatever, right? Very sedentary movement, but most people on average, some people will do less than that, but obviously some people do more than that. But that's what they say. If you're not trying to go for a walk, you're not trying to do any physical activity, most people do between 3 and 4. And that is what that number is based on, right? 2,000 calories a day, 3 to 4,000 steps a day. That's 60,000 over a week. So that means to lose a stone of body fat, if you burn the average that an adult does according to the FSA, you would have to eat 11,000 calories a month. Not a week. And 11,000, if we divide that by 30, that is a grand total of 370 calories a day. Please don't do that. That's very much disordered eating. Don't do that. But that's what you'd have to do. Now, let's say you are an average adult and you actually have a pretty decent level of movement and you burn 2,500 a day. We could add 500 calories to that. So you'd have to eat about 800 to 900 calories a day. And you'd lose a stone of body fat. If you stuck to that for 4 months, you'd lose 4 stone in 4 months. But the knock-on effect of crash dieting like that is you'll gain all that weight back. Probably over the next 6 to 12 months. You'll gain it all back. And this is why I get so many people coming on lives going, I lost 4 stone last year. I've gained it all back. I lost 4 stone in 2022. I've gained it all back. I lost 3 stone in 2023. I've gained it all back. And the big reason for that was 2 big reasons, but one big reason is the method you've used, right? Crash dieting causes short-term weight loss, long-term weight gain. Another reason why we gain our weight back is because we don't sort out what's going on in here. We can keep this under wraps for a few months and stick to the diet, but eventually our mental health, our mindset will take over. And a lot of people, there's a big correlation between people that have weight issues and poor mental health. And poor mental health doesn't have to be that severe, right? It doesn't. When you say poor mental health, people automatically go, what, depression? Don't get wrong. Yeah, a lot of people do suffer with that. But poor mental health can just be, a fear and lack of understanding around food. This food makes you fat. This food makes you thin. Right? That is detrimental to health because every time you eat something that makes you fat, you feel guilty about it. Guilt triggers emotional eating. So it can be something quite, in a way, will hold you back, but isn't as severe as really suffering massively with manic depression or anxiety. But it's still a massive issue. A lot of people, loads of you on this live will have done this. You'll have literally had one day where you've just eaten food that makes you fat, and from that one day of doing that, you just if I'm eating food that makes you, and next thing you spiral out of control, you just do it for weeks on end. And that's poor mental health. It's lack of education around how weight loss works and food, but it's just that I've done something. It's basically like saying I've got a puncture on my car. I might as well get a knife and pop all 4 tires. If you have 1 or 2 days eating where might not be the healthiest, might be a little bit calorific, and from that 1 or 2 days poor eating, you then chuck your entire journey in the bin, right, and gain any loss and just regress backwards and gain any losses, you're literally going, I've spent £20 more than I wanted. You know, I had a budget to go out shopping, and my budget was £100. I spent £120. So because I've gone £20 over my budget, I might as well go and spend £1,000. That is basically what you're saying when you have a couple of days that don't quite go to plan, and you just chuck it all in the bin, and then the next. But that is down to poor mindset around weight loss. You know, the restrict binge cycle is so detrimental, absolutely, and it's pretty much what everyone does. The binge and restrict cycle is pretty much what everyone does. They do some sort of crazy fad diet that is overly restrictive, and then down the line at some point, whether that be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 months, 12 months, it creates an overeating pattern, right? And then that takes a grip for however long, and then suddenly you have, well, for whatever reason, a little bit of a wake-up call, and you move back into that over-restrictive pattern. Slimming World, over-restrictive. Do it for 4 months, lose 2 or 3 stone, go into a binge cycle for 6, 7 months, gain it all back and a little bit more, right? Next thing, you go back to Slimming World. Restrictive cycle, 3, 4, maybe 5 months. At some point in time, you hit the brick wall, you crash, and bang, next thing you're into an overeating cycle, and the 3 stone you've just lost on Slimming World, it turns into a 4 stone gain. You've done Slimming World twice now, you've lost but gained it all back. Let's try the Cambridge plan. You do the Cambridge plan, and then you over-restrict yourself, 800 calories a day, bang. 2, 3 months down the line, you're straight back into that overeating pattern, gain all your weight back and probably a little bit more. And you've done this for years. And that's why when you first went on a diet at Slimming World in, 2003, and you weighed 13 stone, you've been on and off dieting for the last 20 years, and you now weigh 17 stone. So your dieting for 20 years has caused 4 stone of weight gain, 0 long-term weight loss. And we've got to step out of it. We've got to get away from it, you know? Chad, good morning, mate. Good morning, Chad. Right, guys, I'm going very shortly. Nothing personal against you, Chad. I was only jumping on for a quickie. Emily, I'm 20 years old, 79 kilograms, 5'2". I'm on 1,500, but struggling to stay consistent. Do I up calories? It depends what your movement is. 79 kilograms, you're not ridiculously overweight. What, you're about 175 pounds, something like that, which is like 12, 13 stone. So you're not ridiculously overweight. In fact, you're not overweight at all. You're just under tall, Emily. But yeah, if you've got a decent level, like 1,500 to me is absolute the lowest amount of calories anyone should be eating. If you can't, and because Emily's on too fewer calories, sounds like she's in too restrictive a deficit, it does affect consistency. But you're aware of it, Emily. So yeah, I'd probably eat a bit more. The calories, Emily, you should be eating should be based on what are you burning. So how many calories do you burn, Emily? If you never know that question, your calorie allowance is going to be wrong. If you don't know how many you burn in a week or in a day on average, irrelevant of what the number is, your calories are going to be wrong. Again, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube, all that. Click on my link tree, linktr.ee/real loss boss. Just come join the community. There's no contract. You can cancel any time. So it only ever needs to cost you $5 if that's what you want it to. But as part of signing up to my community, you will get a full calorie breakdown. Then you know your calories are right. It's then down to you to eat them. Right? That is obviously the trickier part. Yeah. Right, guys, that's me. I am out of here. I won't be. Are you taking on new clients? I am. Start date is a week on Monday. All right. I've had a lot of new clients, and I've got some great deals for my one-to-one plan on at the moment. Half price sign up off the monthly plan, so it's just 15 quid to get on board. Or the big saving is on my yearly plan, which at the moment is just 260 quid. That works out at £21.50 a month over a year. One-off payment, 260 quid. You get a full one-to-one weight loss coaching with me, stood by your side as much as you need me to be, guiding you, on your journey. So, but yeah, two really good deals. So if you do the monthly plan, I'll get you started a week on Monday. You just need to chuck 15 quid in. That covers your sign up, gets your plan written up, gets it sent over. You'll officially start on plan a week on Monday. There is a subscription. It's $29.99 a month for my one-to-one plan on a monthly subscription, which will start on the 31st of July. I do ask for a minimum 3 months commitment. So you are in a contract with the one-to-one plan, just for 3 months. All right. I ask you to put that commitment into place. So you'll pay $29.99 end of July, end of August, end of September. And once you've done that, your minimum term's complete. It's then a rolling contract. You can work with me for the next 5 years if you want to, but if in October, November you want to go it alone, you can cancel whenever you want. You don't need to give a 30-day notice. You don't need to do anything. You can just say, Neil, I'm coming off plan. Fine. Right? And it'll just end when your current payment's done. So if you've paid, let's say you pay end of September and you cancel your plan mid-October, you're still covered to the end of October. I'll still do your check-ins and stuff until the end of October, and then you're done. All right. Right. That's it. I'm out of here. I won't be back on today. I'm not on tomorrow. When am I back? Monday morning. All right. So enjoy the weather. Stay hydrated. Slip, slap, slop, or whatever they used to say in Australia. Put your hat on. Put your t-shirts on. Certainly lots of sun cream this weekend if you're playing about in the garden, or you're going to the park, or you're going to the beer garden. Stay hydrated. If you are going to drink alcohol this weekend, have a good bottle of water with every pint. Make sure you stay hydrated, right? Because it is going to be hot. But enjoy the weekend. And still keep the journey going. Remember, there's 7 days in a week, not 5. And I will see you Monday morning at 8:30. TikTok will sign off to you first. Facebook, YouTube will sign off to you second.